Welcome to Game Changer Weekly. John, you have never looked better. How are you doing this Tuesday evening?
I feel alone out here in the void.
Oh no, the sound's going to the void now too. Oh, sorry, John.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. You're back. You're back.
Okay, I'm back. I'm here
Yep.
right now.
Yes,
Oh,
you're
this
back
is
from the void.
this is atrocious. Am I not here again?
I can hear you now. You're good.
Oh, what a pain in the butt. Okay, yeah. Welcome to Game Changer Weekly, huh?
Folks, we apologize for the delay. Obviously, we're having some technical issues here. Yeah, you're stuck with Jimmy Lloyd out in the UK, John.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I
We
don't
got the
know
green
what is
pill.
going on. I check everything and then all of a sudden things just malfunction. I think we were doing the history one time and then you failed, right?
Yeah, we've been having our own little issues here on podcast here the last
We
month.
have we have no idea what's going on with it. We do know this much though. We're using StreamYard and whatever it is on StreamYard, sometimes it's perfect, sometimes there's a problem. Yeah, Rose, what's up, Chud?
You already pissed Rose off. He just got here. Yeah, we apologize, John. If you're talking, can't hear you again.
No, you're good.
Uh,
You're good. You're good.
okay. Um, so yeah, we're here. Sorry for the delay, and appreciate you guys all sticking by and hanging out.
Yeah, gosh, I'm so thrown off right now. I'm almost scared of what to do at this point. So, yeah, I'll start with some news here real quick. Joey Janela had an altercation at the Indianapolis show this past weekend. That was a fun pair of videos to watch. The first was the start of an attack. The second was the guy being escorted out by tankmen. What
Oh,
are your
there's
thoughts
video
on
of
that
that.
one?
I didn't see the
Yeah,
video of the Takeman one. Someone said that I want to see video, and I never saw it.
yeah. So if you look at just look up something like Joey Janela fight video or something like that, you'll probably see that one of them is a second angle that someone else had that, because we
Someone
have to
tapped
have video of everything.
Rose. Yeah, I don't even want to try to change it. I always get the Pink Ranger somehow. It's based off of a lot of people on Body Slam use this stuff. So, well, yeah, we don't want to try to even mess with it because it might mess something else up. Rose's on a heel run now.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I'm about to be on a
What's
heel
up,
run real
Anissa?
quick.
What's up, Reed? What's up? Everyone?
Anissa Reed, great one.
Uh,
Hello, hello, hello.
what's up?
Clown's like our
Yes.
number
Oh,
one in
clown.
here.
Yeah, I always
ZM
forget you, clown.
Zoe, nice to see you. By the way, I see your name pop up sometimes over on oh gosh, where do I see that at? I see over Boulevard Bullies every now and then. So I just wanted to say I've seen that name somewhere. That's where I've seen it before. So fellow Chud, nice to see you too tonight. Yeah,
uh,
there we
so
are.
yeah, if anyone has that video of the take one, please tag me in it or send it to me DM. I want to see that because I didn't see that video. I saw the first one. Um, yeah, I guess that's where we're gonna start off here tonight.
Well, the one thing I wanted to say about it was that I'd spent about 5 minutes thinking about how someone could really hurt a wrestler if they wanted to, like with a knife. The
The Chuds, the Joey Janela incident. Trying to fill in for him here. You're cut off again, John. Just so you
oh
know.
no.
Yeah, go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, so here's what's up. I think I might have to switch to my phone and do that thing again. I don't know what else is best to do because this is going to happen all night and nothing is going on here that's really messed up.
All right,
Nothing.
I'll try to carry here until you come back, and
Oh, geez.
I'll start on the Joey, I guess, stuff. Yeah, I like that. Let's throw the grenade out and see you guys. I gotta come back in a couple minutes.
Yeah. That's the way to go. Yeah, let me see what I can do over here. I'll try to jump back in. I'm literally going to shut down and come back on, see what happens.
All right, let me try to fix this tube banner here once he leaves.
This
here,
is
guys.
atrocious.
We apologize. This is the indie here. So, all right, here we go, John. You can go ahead and go. I got it ready.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll be right back.
All right, here we go. There we go. It'll be like that till John comes back. Oh, we're gonna go full now. We ain't gonna go full. I can't do full here. So yeah. We'll go that for right now. I don't want to see my full face here. Yeah, so I guess the Joey stuff. I'm kind of right there with you, Reed. I don't want to make a big deal about it. I mean, I know it was a talking point. We were going to start off with it, just hit it real fast and get going. But yeah, I just don't. I don't know. Like I feel like I think what John was kind of saying. Like I'm surprised it maybe hasn't happened earlier, and especially maybe could be more serious, especially as some of the wrestlers talk online and with social media and the crazy things going on nowadays. I was just happy to see kind of him be safe first and foremost. I loved that scene. Gringo, Masha, Price, everybody, John Wayne Murdoch, Max Recon with the headlock. I enjoyed seeing the camaraderie in GCW, the gang shit kind of jump in and fill in and protect Joey there. And like, I don't know. I didn't want to talk about it much either. So I guess that's all I'm going to say about it. Just happy to see it back. I would love to see the Tankman video of it as well. And yeah, I will go off of that. John, I will read John's notes here. Actually, no, I don't want to read John's. He's talking about the collective, and yeah, collective tickets issues. I heard that. I kind of caught that the late end. I had a crazy Friday. Yeah, and who got tickets to collective? And where are you guys at? Hopefully see you guys out here in Vegas. Yeah. Joey had nothing. Yeah, he was injured. Yeah, we were talking about that before even all of this happened. Me, John talked about it with other people about yeah, Joey's injury, and yeah, he might not be back to work by spring break. Or I think what he said is he's going to try to fight through it, and then after spring break, just deal with it. And yeah, Ticketmaster said no front row for you. That's what I kind of saw, and I kind of backed off on that one. We'll see what happens there. Brett says he's gonna make up for it, so I haven't seen how or how what we'll do, but I know he's John was on the call with him. I know maybe when he hops on, he can help out a little bit more, but he was with Brett on calls, on video calls, and trying to help out and help the fans and help mediate it with Brett and everything. And he was going through everything that Brett said was legit from John, and no surgery, Joey. Good. That's good to hear too. And yeah, I just saw he was announced for the LA show against Super Crazy. I'm trying to figure out what show I want to go to. Like the San Diego show looks strong with Alrez and Drew Parker. I'd love to see that again. I want to go to Arizona. I love the Nile, the people there. See the friends there that I know work at the Nile, and all the friends that go to the show. Frank's group. And LA's always got good shows. So yeah, this is a tough three-way trip here on this one. So I will think I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe sneaking into Arizona. We'll see. When I saw no front rows were left, I was kind of the same way to kind of figure out what could happen with that. Yeah, same with front row for the hotel and tickets. Yeah, actually, I thought I don't know. For me personally, I was looking at the hotel. Like, I think for like the price and where you're staying at and everything, that's not a bad deal there. Dago show. I don't know what the Dago show is. I can only go to Saturday show since it's the one that doesn't make me to take PTO. Yeah, their show. Yeah, I'm all by myself right now. Biz, how you doing, man? John's having some technical issues right now, so we're trying to get that settled in. I'm trying to carry it until then. San Diego. Oh, San Diego show. Yeah, Dago show. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Arez and Drew Parker. That was the one match. I saw it live at VXS in Vegas. That was the one where Drew badly cut his leg with the light tube with Arez. It was a crazy match. I never knew Arez did glass and death matches, so that was super cool to see Arez do. That's kind of like my beginning of really start to love Arez, knowing that he's crazy and willing to do everything and not just the lucha style. When I kind of first saw him in GCW. West Philadelphia Constance, you'll be right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Got tickets for all 3 Saturdays in row 202. Okay. Wouldn't want to stay at the Palms. I'd probably only do brunch. So many other good shows. Yeah, there's a lot of good shows happening out here. That's a crazy part too. Yeah, I'm still kind of trying to plan out my collective and see what's happening. See if I can help out in any way possible, and if not, see what shows I could go to. So yeah. That the collective was this weekend. Meat lineup. Oh yeah, the show's going on. There's a lot of good shows. Like the FSW Arena's got a lot of good shows coming going on during then. The Prestige Group's doing a lot of good shows. Collective's got strong. Like I can't wait till they announce the cards too. That's gonna and see some names here and see what kind of lineup we're gonna get for Collective because we know that's gonna be happening here the next couple of weeks here in GCW, and that's what we were gonna talk about here coming up here in a few minutes. Let me check here, see if I got anything from John yet. Nope, he's still working on it. All right. Oh, Screwball, thank you. I will have to watch this later. Thank you for the video. Um, Bookmark that. Yeah. What else? What else do we want to talk about before we go into the reviews here? Before John gets back on. Five sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of shows out there. Like it is a crazy Mania weekend. A lot of good independent wrestling going on all around us. If you said you could help for brunch by buying a ticket, I know Effie's getting all mad at these people. Yeah, I know it's. We'll see how hard it is harder buying a ticket than it is maybe to try to help out. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens for me at least. I wanna go to quite a few shows. At collective weekend, but we'll see if we will be at any capacity of helping. I don't know. I was kind of hoping we do a little something for Hammerstein. Do like me and John could do like little pre-shows leading at and YouTube, like just quickly do a couple 30-minute shows as the setups coming in, the fans are coming in, and do a little quick previews before those shows on YouTube. That's kind of what I would like to do on Collective to help out, do little pre-shows there. But anyway, possible to help out. If not, I will be there as a fan as always and enjoying it. Brooke Havoc. So they started. Oh, just now. Okay, I was about to say I haven't seen any talent announcements. So cool. That's good. At least we'll see more Brooke Havoc in GCW at Effie's Big Gay Brunch. All right, what else? Let me catch up on chat here. Getting from meat to the palm seems a headache. Yeah, no, it is. The meats that's a hard place to get to. Hard place to get to. It's gonna be a headache everywhere that weekend. It's gonna be insane. Yeah, just even no parking is gonna be nuts there too. Anybody going to WrestleMania after Rumble? Rumble was a pretty crazy Royal Rumble too. Still waiting for John here. Go and give John a couple more minutes. If not, I will start maybe doing a quick little review here. See, perfect timing. The man himself. Okay, we got video. Let's see if it stays on.
We're in. I'm in.
If it stays on. You're in. Let's see if I can fix this now.
Holy shit.
All right,
Holy
duo.
shit.
Okay, wrong one. That's not even
Wow.
close. There we go.
Oh my gosh, I'm in. What an atrocious time. I'm so sorry, everyone. This is crazy. My son was literally sitting here working like crazy trying to get something going here. So I actually have my laptop hooked up to all this shit over here now, and
I never saw our viewership go down on YouTube Live. It always goes up. I never seen it actually go down. So thank God for the save, John.
Yeah.
No, we quickly just touch on the Joey thing real fast. We were kind of talking about Collective, who's going to Collective. A lot of good shows outside of Collective as well for independent wrestling fans. And yeah, so floor's yours. I'm done talking. I need a break here. So whenever you are ready.
Well, I was going to talk about Collective tickets. Do you have a chance to talk about that yet?
A little bit. I didn't want to touch up on it because I know you were talking to the man himself. You were kind of there trying to help out mediate between the fans and Brett, between all the Patreon and stuff. So I wasn't going to touch on that because I figured you would have way more to say than I would about that. So I'll let you have the floor.
Yeah, no problem. Just like everyone else, I really didn't have much access to the floor tickets. It was just like everyone else, that weird front row in only specific sections. I ended up getting level 100s, which is just off the floor. I'm fine off the floor. I have theater seats kind of thing. You know, that's what they have there. I'm at the end of a row. My wife, not happy at all. Absolutely not thrilled because she does her pictures. This is kind of her big thing. And she doesn't have that. We haven't seen a GCW show in 2 years. So, she talked about it forever. We saved for it, and it didn't happen that way. So I want everyone to know that this is fan stuff. It's not like anybody else gets anything better. But I will say, just to be fair to, say, the Patreons that are listening, because I tried to make sure that I, yeah, he said, hey, Owen. Yeah? He said, cool shit, Wolf Jr. So, yeah, that's Owen Wolf. So I was up that morning going, hey, you know what? Let's see what's going on with everything, because we were within, 15 minutes or so of everything releasing. Everything dropped, and best way I can put it is Brett's ready to roll, everything's set up, everything's ready to go, and then Ticketmaster didn't release the tickets from the from the group. You know what I mean? Like the packages, you can get all the shows in one. So that's what happened there, basically. So he's on the phone, making calls, making texts, doing all this. So I wanted to let you know I was right there for, I think, like an hour and 40-minute struggle at least. And he was doing everything he could. And I can tell you, when he says he feels terrible and it's embarrassing, it really was. And he really did mean that deep down. So I just wanted to let you know that even someone who you think, oh, this guy can get this, no, man, I'm a fan. And those are the tickets I got. I'm over in the hundreds, I think, just off the floor to the right of the wrestling ring. So that's where I'm at. I just wanted to let everyone know that I was in the same situation as everyone else. Not only that, but it just happened to be what it was. So I don't know. I don't know what else to really share about that. I just thought it was fair to just say I'm right there with everyone. But the difference is I literally was right there as the chaos was going down, and I felt terrible for the guy because he's doing his ass. He's just trying his ass off. Sorry, like I said, there's so much going on, and I'm talking about this subject, and so yeah, no stage seating. I saw that too, Reed. I found that kind of interesting. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. I don't know. I don't know. Do you have anything to say about it, really, or you're not really messing with it right now? So
Yeah, I said kind of what I said earlier. I was like, I was saying was great when I think it was like when I looked and I saw no individual front rows for any of the shows. I was like, okay, something's either not right, or as Great One said too, the Patreon got first dibs. I was like, wow. I will wait to see what happens then and see what else maybe. And then I saw on Patreon all the chaos and craziness. So as Brett said, reach out to him. So I will reach out to him hopefully tonight, and we will see. We'll see if I can get front row or anything. Like as you said, we'll see. If not, I will be GA hopefully, or maybe working somehow. I was like, hey, I'm already pitching the idea. Me and you are gonna run every show, the collective, a 30-minute pre-show on YouTube. We're gonna do a quick 30-minute preview of the card. We're manifesting it right now.
I like the idea. I like the idea, dude. I really do.
I'll take mic's going up.
Oh no, come on. No. Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, but it's coming in robotic. Just turn maybe your mic on and off.
I'm gonna do something real quick here.
No worries.
Boom.
Oh, no GA. So I might be screwed. I might be just watching a bunch of wrestling at home like I've done in years past. I don't know. I'll be comfortable. Yeah, we'll see. When I saw then I saw the arena style and there's no GA. I was like, oh, I started thinking about that too. And then I was like, I kind of just came to terms where like if I'm not going to be able to help out or do anything, I will just sit at home and watch a bunch of wrestling and not move for hours on my couch.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I just know it was kind of disheartening, and I was like, oh God, I gotta tell my wife. And she's like, fuck. So I still don't know the story. I'd love to tell people, but I can tell you right now, it happened on Ticketmaster's end 100%. And this guy's just sitting here trying to put on a good show. And here we are with just another hitch. It's just life's not perfect. And I was right there beside it, man. I feel for the guy. I know what he's trying to do for everyone. I know what he's trying to do for us and the wrestlers. And, it is what it is. Those are still sitting there, I believe, locked. No idea. And I don't have any inside information whatsoever. That's none of my business. It's just I was there during that time. So yeah, that was it. Anything else you can think of?
Nah, not off the top of my head.
Yeah, dude, I'm so thrown off. I got to get myself back together here.
All right, well, should we go into it old school style? Let me get you settled in here. So our first show of the night is the BZW show versus GCW at Enter the Zone from Frank Reich, France, and take it away.
All right, so I just want to be fair. This show was taped on Saturday, January 25th. We normally would have covered this on the last show. However, it was released 5 days later, so now we can finally review it. I wanted to also address the fact that it was taped and put out later because the internet connection at the venue wasn't all that hot, so they wanted to make sure that they had a good, clean, and clear signal there. Yeah, that's primarily all I wanted to say about that.
Yeah, I thought the venue looked cool. The crowd was super loud and energetic right away,
Thanks, bud.
and it looked super full. Like it looked really cool. Like visually, just to open up the show, I was impressed with the venue, the Banger Zone. I like that. I didn't catch that if that was a nickname. All right, first matchup was for the BZW Hardcore Championship, as it was Big F and Joe going against. Oh, you moved my screen there. Jacob Vadok and
Man,
Cole Radrick.
I'm sending my problems your way, bud.
No, you when you backspace all those pages went up when I was reading it.
Oh shit.
It's all good.
Yeah, this is the top
Ah,
of professionalism tonight. Let me tell you guys.
I
Holy
never knew
moly.
that.
Jeez. Okay, so yeah, Big Joe established dominance early. Again, I want to say more Joe in America. I feel like his deathmatch work can't be ignored. We had a door, wet floor cone, a coat hanger, chairs, road signs, trash can, thumbtacks, and a lot of fighting in the crowd. This was my first time seeing Jacob, and this was his GCW debut. There was an awesome monkey flip onto Cole. I'm unsure if Jacob is Amish or just a French countryside farmer, but the Amish are originally Dutch, so I don't know. Cole was on fire. He was the aggressor throughout the match. There were quite a few aggressive moves, including a backflip with a chair off the top rope. There was a spot where the referee missed a pin. Interference by Joseph Finneck Jr. Jacob got DVD'd onto the stage. Our winner and new BZW Hardcore champion, Big F and Joe. What were your thoughts?
Real fast, I'll go to right here. Here's great one says BZW is going to be running prize style. I agree right there with ZMZO and you, John.
Yes.
I
Yes.
I sent you that text. Like I am all aboard that Joe hype train as you've been on, and yeah, Big Joe comes to America frequent basis. Start wearing gears at a time.
Like
If
a
he's
clown.
on this one hell of a run. I love this. That's what like I had to go to their comments before mine. I love theirs. I
So
thought this was a strong opening match. The new guy reminded me of back in the States, Levi, not Garrett, Levi the Amish guy we have there.
oh man, Levi,
I
that's
forgot
okay.
that. Yeah,
We
whatever.
only have 500-600 names to remember.
I know. I thought Cole and Joe alone would have been a strong match, but the new guy looked really good. I thought he was impressive. They fought all over the place. Nice seeing some of their storylines bleed into this match where it doesn't feel forced. Like they're not like forcing like something of theirs into our show just to make it like it made sense. It was cool. Like that guy came in, cost the belt, and shows up later on as the champion. I thought it was a cool opening first match. Joe looked really good as a champion. He should be a champion in GCW. This is where I think the
Yes.
Extreme title shouldn't have gone away. I don't want to keep on harping on it, but I have about a billion notes still on that one later on. But I thought it was a fun, strong opening, starting matchup, and yeah, give me more effing Joe Everett. There we go. Not Conway. Everett BL. Yeah, that's the guy, the BLW heavyweight champion. Yeah, Levi Everett. I was right. So yeah, Frankie push-up glasses. All right, our second matchup of the evening: Joey Janela versus George Balzac. Trying to get these
Yeah,
pronunciations.
I didn't expect that name. That's the first thing right off the bat. I didn't expect the Balzac. So, this was also George Balzac's debut at GCW. Balzac won over the crowd. I can't just say that without laughing a little bit. The longer hair and the mustache made me wonder if Eddie Guerrero came through France at one time and spread his seed. Honestly, he has a good regional wrestler who he was a good regional wrestler who had the fans loving him. Joey walked in as the heels, which I found surprising here. Classic wrestling match. The fans were really into it. Our winner here, Joey Janela. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have much to say other than it was a Joey match. I agree with you though. The local like for the got a really good crowd reaction because I had no idea who this person was, and seeing him work heel made me assume that that's a big face over there, and seeing the crowd reaction was cool to see. And yeah, I thought it was a good match. It just felt like a normal Joey match, and good for George to hold his own in a Joey match. Yeah, I'll cheering for. Jeez. Oh,
You
Frankie.
know we're gonna get Balzac chance if he comes
There
out
we
here.
go. Strangely, like the ones he had with the Brooklyn Brawler. Yeah, kind of. Our next match was for the BZW Championship as Joseph Fedech Jr. defends the belt against Maki Ito.
Found it interesting that both were in shiny red and black. They would have made great matching partners. Joseph played a good heel here. This was his debut also at GCW Wrestling. During the chants, sometimes the fans would stomp, and you could see that it would shake the hard cam just a little. And I want to say it looked cool on TV because it looked like the entire place was shaking with excitement. So I just wanted to kind of give him just a little something on that. Maki won the match, but then the ref found brass knuckles on Maki and called for a DQ for usage of weapons. So our winner here retains Joseph Finneck Jr. via DQ. What are your thoughts on this one?
I was happy they were given time to kind of play out the whole story. Joseph, I liked him. He looked really cool as a heel. I think it's totally different going against Maki Ito with the singing attire and the outfit. It's just a totally different stylistic matchup, but I enjoyed Joseph as a character. Definitely would love to see him back in GCW when we go back out to France or out here. We could get him out here for one of the shows because his character, his presentation, and the in-ring work as a heel was really good. The crowd, he felt like he had Manser heat kind of for the French crowd, and I enjoyed this match. And Maki looked really good in a spotlight match against their uh, champion of their promotion. So I thought that was a big moment for Maki, and I thought it was a good representation for GCW. Our fourth matchup was a four-way match as it was Ricky Sosa, Ariel Van Gogh, Agile Blanc, and Alec Price.
And this was Ricky Sosa's debut match. He has tremendous height. I want him back. I went online to X and I just said, I get it. I get him. He is somebody that I'd like to see at GCW more if we could bring him over. Van Gogh pulled off a killer bottom rope swing move I've never seen before. No idea what to call it. Huge fan of his work. I also wrote here that Price versus Aigle LeBlanc has me absolutely intrigued as a singles match. Halfway through the match, I'm already sold that this is a very good spot fest. Those are the types of scrambles I'd like. They always show me something different and fresh, perfect for the fans like me who've seen everything. Also, I just wrote in the bottom, just Mr. Perfect would have been perfect, or Mr. Danger would have been perfect in this match. It's not going to end. This may be my worst episode ever. We're going to see what happens here.
I'd love to
dead
see
serious.
Kurt Hennig in GCW. That would be awesome.
So would I. I'd like to know how they're going to open the casket. He's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, sneakily like but what was that game, the arcade game back in you could play like Legion of Doom, and Mr. Perfect came out with he was my character. I loved Mr. Perfect just as a whole. Yeah, he was a good one. I agree with you. Give me more Sosa, please. He looked really, really good. This match stood out. This match had amazing talent, and as you said, the energy, the creativity in this match, and the spots that they came up with. Well, it was a perfect recipe in this one, and I loved this match. This was one of those. I agree with you. One of those scrambles that I just love to watch, and awesome job by everyone. And crowd was hot, and that was amazing. That was awesome.
Yes.
Give me all four some way somehow. Once again, extreme title. Go ahead. I'll go on to the next one. Like this is like all those styles of these wrestler styles just fit into what I envision the extreme belt can be used for still. All right. Our next matchup was Jimmy Lloyd and Lou Nixon versus Jack Sans Nam and Paul Robinson.
Welcome back to GCW, Lou Nixon. I do believe this is Jack and Paul's debut at GCW. Jimmy Lloyd walking out with a large TV over his head had me laughing. Nixon grabbing a trash can full of toys. As they carry everything out, the fans are getting pumped up. Kendo sticks, wet floor signs, chairs, light tubes, wooden plank covered in barbed wire, and a guitar. The split screen sponsored by GCW merch was very busy covering the action outside the ring and in the stands. Lloyd eventually put Robinson through that TV, and Jack brings in a homemade blowtorch. Lloyd uses a trash can lid to block it, and Jimmy looked like he was fighting a dragon. Our winner here was Jimmy Lloyd and Lou Nixon. How you feeling on this one?
I love the chaos, man. Like the ending, the fire with the Jimmy Lloyd spot. This was like shows me I BZW might be one of those companies like DDT. I feel like they have the GCW spirit. They get crazy and chaotic, and I enjoy this match. I was not expecting much of it going into it, and especially after seeing all the chaos in the first match with Big F and Joe and Cole, this match was, if not crazier, and I loved it. Happy to see Lou Nixon. Lou Nixon back as well.
Mm. And as far as I know, Jimmy Lloyd is still exiled in England. So I don't know what to tell everybody there either. I have not heard anything new. If somebody else has heard something new, great. But as far as I know, he's still there.
Gives reason for Cardona to stay in GCW for a little bit longer. All right. Our main event was for the GCW World Championship as Effie defends it against Connor Mills.
All I remember from this is the fans going, Kana, Kana Mies, Kana, Kana Mies. That's what I remember. I studied French for years. You could hear the accent when they're trying to say Connor Mills. I loved it. Mills comes out with a BZW bandana. I love him repping his territory. I read lips a little in the beginning of this match while they're doing the Connor Mills chants, and you could see Effie say, I love that shit. Halfway through this match, around the 2:09 and 10-second mark, there was a ticker that came up showing upcoming dates. More of that, please. Kind of gave it a sports feel, or at least it felt more professional. Effie's really mastered the art of making the spear look good, like really good, without compromising his opponent. Mills worked Effie's leg most of the match, and I just want to put, it was a very real wrestling match. I don't really have a ton to report here because it's not like there was flipping and flying. These two men went at it toe to toe in the ring. You would see this as like a 90s match kind of. I don't know if I have a better way to put it. Our GCW World Champion retains. Our winner here is Effie. This was a 19-minute match, and I also believe just like Mance Warner, this was good match time for any solid main event in my mind. What were your thoughts here?
Yeah, I agree. Connor looked really impressive. That was my first time seeing Connor, and I agree. This match felt very like old, slower pace. They told the story in the ring of working body parts and like fighting for positioning and stuff like that. So I love this as a title defense. It shows Effie, as Effie kind of made mention coming up of what kind of he could do a match like how he did the first title defense. He has this matchup. I want to see what he's got in his future title shots. Hopefully we see what kind of story he's got going into Collective. But I just think this showed the versatility of Effie as world champion, and I would like to see Connor again in a GCW ring. I enjoyed a lot of the almost every single talent on this card from BZW. That was a good performance that roster put out in this match. This card for sure, especially to have a GCW show. It felt like a GCW show, and with this main event, I left this card real happy.
You know, and once again, we find out that like the European setup of having the lights with the stage and everything, I'm really surprised that GCW hasn't adopted that yet. Maybe in time, but I just know with the music and the lights, it just adds more of an effect. And who knows? Maybe in time.
For the Patreon, I could give a little spoiler alert. For the Patreon podcast, I kind of bring up like after seeing these kind of weekend shows and kind of going and seeing the terminal and like how the terminal is and the old carousel and even the pier at the Showboat, I really wish my cameras just went. Okay, there we go. I really wish that GCW would kind of find a home and make it their home, like how it seems like the BZW made that place like the banger zone, like that was their home. But like you saw the crowd, it looked full. They could get chaotic, and like I would just like them to add more, as you always say, like when you go to these places, throw a poster here, throw a banner here, like when they do the TOS banners, and you see like. When I see these things and they take ownership, you feel like that like they're there, like it's and the crowd is there for the same reason. I think it just adds more personality to GCW. As you're saying, the ticker even on this one, I thought that was cool. They did a lot of a couple different cool presentation pieces, and they've been doing a lot of stuff since Hammerstein.
Yes.
And I love to see all this, the growth, and trying out some stuff and see where if it sticks, and if not, doesn't work, and hey, we'll fix it and get better on the next one. So presentation wise, I enjoyed everything from BZW, and this venue though, it just made me wish that GCW would find kind of like home venues and make it their home and put GCW all over the place. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know who the lighting. Well, I mean, it probably goes on different venues too. Reed, sorry, I'm reading the chat here. I think it was a real FE match instead of what people think an FE match is. Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe that FE match too.
This was a real FE match instead of what people think an FE match is. This is a wrestling match with just a touch of FE kind of sprinkled in. You know what I mean? This was like more like the wrestler match with less, FE sprinkles.
Yep.
I think that's the best way to put that.
All right, that covers GCW France. Let's move on to Indianapolis, as GCW's Up All Night came to us from the Fountain Square Theater in Indianapolis, Indiana.
I love this venue. I like the lighting rig. They used blue Indianapolis Colts colors. I was kind of hoping it wasn't an obstruction for the fans. I didn't hear anything from anyone. So, hey, again, more lights, more audio, give it to me. It's, it's a good thing to have. It creates an environment. Big fan of the nap flags, which is just what you were talking about, where, you know what, make it home. Make it your home. Don't walk into a building in Missouri and be like, well, you know what, I guess we're here tonight. No, man, move in. Put up the drapes, put everything up. Make it look like GCW is in the house for the night. Let's see. The show started with Effie cutting a promo pushing himself. This was the quote-unquote road to Las Vegas. Well done speech also. The Rejects come out to threaten Effie. Garbage Daddies come out for the save. Bang and Matthews then come out next, and just like that was our first match of the night.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the promo from Effie as well. I thought it was a good way to establish all his accomplishments as he starts his run as a current GCW champion. The Rejects cutting him off and lead into Bangin' Matthews, and then the Garbage Daddies coming out for the save and to start the show was cool. I enjoyed how the action always flows one thing into the other, and it made perfect sense. And John Wayne Murdoch back to his being an asshole heel. Cutting them off was a nice, easy, simple promo, and yeah, led us right into the first match of the night, as it was for the tag team championships, as the Garbage Daddy defends it against Bangin' Matthews and the Rejects.
9.5 minutes only, and they packed a lot into this match. Emil and Nick Manawa were on the microphone here. Very natural couple together, I felt. Garbage Daddies were on their second title defense. We were in Cole's home territory, so of course they're going to open the show. Bangin' Matthews topes gave the match a hot start. The Rejects were perfect heels here, grounding the other young teens from doing their flipping and flying, playing spoilers. This new version of Cole Radrick we've seen lately has been more aggressive, and I think I do like that. Reed pulls his pants down and starts popping ass for Indianapolis. You gotta give him something there. Alec Price with a rare Fosbury flop. Good seeing the Spears Tower again. Our winner here, and they retain the Garbage Daddies with the garbage disposal. What are you thinking on this one?
I thought it was a great way to start the show off hot. Going right from that promo, I said, into the match. I enjoyed it. The action was fast paced. The crowd was seething for the Rejects. I loved how much heat they got. Awesome match to set the tone for the rest of the night, and I'm really looking forward to see what the Garbage Daddies do in their tag title run. I want to see kind of the new heel faces coming in, and seeing what we could get there. But I kind of get worried because I feel like the Garbage Daddies went through a lot of the heels on their way to Violence is Forever. So I'm wondering what happens in their title run if we get a new team to come in from outside. Does a new pairing kind of come up and challenge them? Very interested to see what is coming up ahead for the Garbage Daddies.
we'll talk about a team that I'm looking forward to see here just a little later on in this show. Yeah, that was all I had to say about that one. I'm so sorry.
Nah, you're
I'm
good.
jumping all over the place tonight, man. This is wild. You guys are seeing classic fuck ups tonight. Enjoy it.
All right. Our second matchup was for the JCW championship as Masha Slamovich defends it against Myron Reed.
I kept this short, and I really shouldn't have, but I put here that this was for people who just wanted to watch a good wrestling match. Solid, hard hitting affair. There was plenty of athleticism, especially coming from Myron Reed, as always. And I just put here in a quick 10-minute match, Masha Slamovich chokes out Myron Reed and retains that JCW championship match.
I was really looking forward to this one. I think this is another match with Masha as JCW champion where a feud makes sense between her and the opponents. I think they could be really doing something cool and special if they would build a feud, I think, to get fans more invested and interested instead of just these one-off matches. But this one was a really good one. Myron worked really good as a heel. His mannerisms was on point on that night. I really enjoyed him at the end arguing against the tap out because he passed out in the choke. He's like, I never tapped. Like he forgets he was out. Like those little details. But here we go. It's in my notes. I might as well just keep on reading my notes. Those little details are making Myron stand out in my book. And that's like for me, just taking his character and his like wrestling psychology and what he could do in the ring to the next level. His heel work was, I loved it. His facial reactions, his mannerisms. I love Myron Reed also, so I'm kind of biased, but Masha and him just had a good chemistry, and Masha was impressive as always, and especially as of late as she has been. And I just want to see her feud for the title. I just want to get invested into these matchups and not just, oh yeah, it's a Masha match, unless you start throwing in a surprise title to like change here or there to keep me on my toes. Because as of right now, I'm always expecting her to keep on winning, but these matchups are fun. And if you would build a story around it, I think they could be doing a lot of more cool stuff, in my opinion. I agree right here. Sorry, Zoe.
What's that? Oh,
The J Cup.
oh
J
man,
Cup, yes.
yeah.
The lineup. We'll talk about the J Cup later.
Well, the way the show's going right now, we'll be done soon because there's just so little matches here. And like I said, I'm so thrown off, guys. I'm not going to lie.
And there's not really
J-Cup
stories either, so.
That's true. Also, let me I want to see if maybe we can get a weather report. Do you want me to try to see if we can get our weatherman in here? Do you want to send something over, or I'll send something over? What do you think's best?
When do you think we'll get there?
Oh, we can get there anytime because really there's no,
okay.
You know, because next week, I think at least most of the chuds know we've got Danny DeMonta on next week. So we really don't have a great time next week to do the weather for J-Cup kind of thing. So I figured just send him over something and just tell him if he wants to jump in for 5 minutes by all means, because I could use the laugh a little bit too.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Reed Harris said, you mean my line mate for Hammerstein? Was he? I wonder, maybe he was. Yeah, we'll see if he comes in here.
I'm sorry, real fast to cut you off. That's twice I cut you off before you get to the statement. I agree. Like this kind of goes to what John was saying. Like we're flying through these things because these were kind of just cool matchups and a cool show. But as you say, so there's not really any storyline buildings, and that's what kept us talking all freaking collective for hours upon hours. Like that's why we're flying kind of through this one a little bit. We got the J Cup to talk about a little bit later. We got some other stuff to talk about and look forward to. But honestly, if you're wondering why we're flying through it, this is kind of the reason why. I have this in my notes kind of later of why my review of the show. So go ahead. I'll be quiet now.
I guess I'll just go on to the next thing. Wow. We hear Teenage Dirtbag playing over the loudspeaker. Nate comes out to say he's done wrestling, unfortunately, and he's choking back tears. And I will say, as you get older, you know, those types of speeches are kind of harder to watch. You understand it a little more than when you're, 8 years old. Mance comes out, puts over Nate, calls Indianapolis a shithole. They share a beer. Mance attacks Nate. Of course, Too Tough Tony runs out for the save. I feel like his real retirement was the show where the fans demanded the song play twice. Was that Collective? Do you remember?
Well, Cluster, yeah, they played it like multiple times. I really
Yeah.
thought like maybe his like retirement one was the Mance Warner match. I felt like that was kind of him knowing it and like the time it went and the time they gave him. I thought that was kind of maybe his swan song of a match.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it? Sorry, I thought you had more. Sorry.
No, I don't. I don't think I have much here. No, that was it, and then into the match. Dude, I'm
Yeah.
having a terrible night, guys. This is shitty. Wow,
Uh,
this will go down as my shit night. I am way off. Yeah. Don't look for me for shit tonight. This is really bad. I'm having a terrible night, and I'm okay with admitting it. Wow.
Yeah, going into this promo for Nate Webb, I felt like he was going to retire as well, in his home city and everything else. Matt's coming out was a nice twist to it, and I'm happy to see it. And I'm happy to see kind of this next matchup and maybe in the future of what this leads, because I always am afraid of like when champions lose their belts, what is going to happen next? Are they just going to be off to the sides? Or are they going to be involved in something else? Because I think there's so many regular GCW wrestlers on our roster that we use every week that I think we could be doing a lot more stories even for the ancillary outside of title belts and make it more interesting, and seeing Mance kind of get involved and interrupting Nate Webb's retirement was cool to see. And then also Too Tough Tony coming out for the save leading into the next matchup was a nice little twist that I was not expecting. Our next match was Too Tough Tony going against Mance Warner.
So I'll be a little too tough just for a second. If the reason why there isn't any storylines is because maybe there's not performers spending time making themselves storylines. I'll just bitter pill it right there. I mean, you know what I mean? Like that's the difference between Atticus and say someone just having a wrestling match. You could give Atticus a love story and he turned it into that, which was an absolute awesome match. He has wearing someone's face. Like that was a challenge he passed 100%. So I'm just saying the reason why some of these people don't have stories is because some of these people aren't putting in the effort to give themselves stories. They show up and they go, well, I'm working X today. And they go home and they go next week and go, well, I'm working X today. And they go home. And that's that, where people like Atticus or Cardona are sitting with their time, be it maybe at their shoot job or maybe with their off time going, how can I make myself more interesting? How can I make it more than just a match? How can I be better? So the effort shows, guys. Give us some fucking storylines or just take the money and take the match, whatever you want to do. See, now I've turned to cranky. But I'm just being honest. If we don't have storylines, it's not all on Brett. There's performers here. I mean, how many performers we had on this show? All they have to do is use some creativity, bring it to the forefront and say, hey, when I show up, there needs to be purpose. And then make that purpose. Don't just show up and think that the 100th time that we have seen you is going to be more electric than the 99th. Engage us. Be more professional about it. I challenge you.
And that's been like the most part though, like rewarding part of GCW, seeing the effing Mance storyline come together and flesh it out and play out. Like that was got all those fans invested because they told a story. And like I said, I think this could be happening outside of the title scenes. Like, as you said, just in regular matchups, build it up, make it worth something, make it worth whoever comes out the winner is like, reward the fans for investing and get the fans invested. But you're also like, I don't know how to say that. I had two thoughts literally just crash into each other at the same time. But
welcome to this kind
of
a night,
right?
Man. It's perfectly fine. I'm feeling a little better. I guess I had to just get a little something out, and that must have been.
Like I agree. Like Mason was one of those ones who's always constantly putting out videos and making whatever his next matchup, and fans invested throughout the week. And I've always talked about that since we started this podcast. And I just wish that like something could be done with the belts and outside the belts. So you said make yourself more valuable and meaningful to the fans at the shows.
Or again, you can just show up and do your job and go home and no one remembers shit because you'll have the next match and you'll show up and go home and no one will remember that. But we're still talking about Atticus a month later. And we're still talking about some of the storylines from a month later. But we're not talking about your match from last weekend because we don't remember it.
And I'm sorry, Atticus came out of not having shit to do with GCW for how many years and came back and has been probably for me, one of the most fun and exciting things to talk about because he's always constantly putting stuff out there every week to push the story, push my investment in his character. And he, like I said, if he came back, I hope he came back running, and he has knocked it out of the park. And he's, as you said, he's came back with the attitude where like I'm gonna make whatever I'm put in front of me, it's going to succeed, and I'm going to learn from my first time around, and things are going to be different this time. And I think we're seeing the effort he's putting in a lot more compared to some of these other wrestlers that we've seen as of late as well. And it's cool to see. I'm very happy to see him and him doing that.
And I'll make another asshole statement, I guess. I've seen more creativity out of people like Mason and Atticus than I've seen out of others in a year or two. And we've been watching for years, you and I. So, I just look at it that way. Yeah, become entertaining, become professional, be like WWE or be independent. It's up to you. But if you want to be engaging and if you want to be somebody who is memorable, you have to produce something more memorable. If you think your flip is great, guess what? There's someone better. There will always be someone better. That's just how it is. So I really do hope to see more storylines, because otherwise, at this point, we are seeing the same wrestlers recycle. And this is something that Brett was talking about. This is something that Janela was talking about, going, we need fresh blood. Well, guess what? You guys have all had a chance. A lot of you had a chance to develop storylines. We've seen some great wrestling matches, but it's okay to have some go to the side so we can have some fresh blood in. I'm ready for hunger. I'm ready for fresh blood. I think it would be fantastic. I want to see people who want to entertain me, not just take the date. I want to see effort. Maybe that's the best way to do it. I want to see more effort. People who put in time for storylines, they're putting in effort. They're creative. I love stuff like that. So do wrestling fans. I mean, even Cardona doesn't think he's so great he doesn't need a story.
Yep. All right, you want to get into Mance Warner, Too Tough Tony? Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, we have a weapons match. I was so happy to see this. It was a 10-minute weapon match also. Doors, chairs, and fighting in the crowd. This was also, go figure, the first GCW of the night. Too Tough Tony was running a girl in a wheelchair into Mance, and she punches him. Then I think someone else ran their feet into Mance's nuts. I like some fan participation. It blows off steam and brings a lighthearted feel to everything. Too Tough Tony was distracted by a referee. Mance kicks him in the nuts and covers for 3. I made that one kind of quick too, unfortunately. What were your thoughts on this one?
I screamed out yes when I saw Too Tough Tony come out. I forgot that this was actually a match. Like, I know the card's going into it, but then like the card starts, I totally forget what matches are coming up. So this one, I was happy to see. This one was another strong matchup on this card. I think this card had a lot of strong matchups. I love the fans, as you were mentioning, getting redemption on Mance Warner. It's always fun to see Mance get his comeuppance and getting the fans. Like, he's just so good at the old school heel and giving the fan, making the fans feel involved. And I think that's always an important part of GCW shows. And that's what Mance did throughout his entire title run and continues to do so. This match screamed GCW and delivered. I loved it. I want to see more of these two at it. Shout out Mance on the Impact contract, and happy to see him still working GCW with that. I did get kind of scared once I saw him drop the belt and go to Impact. I was a little worried there, but nice to see him still working his GCW dates and moving forward with GCW. And I'm just happy to see all the hard work Mance did and everything that he worked his ass off for this last year as GCW champion come to fruition with the Impact Wrestling contract with Steph. I think that's super cool and well deserved and overdue. And just big shout out to Mance Warner.
So do you think he's gone, or do you think he's just finishing up dates, or do you think this is a back and forth where he does both companies?
I think he'll do both companies, yeah. Because like he's thrown into a prominent role already, like in Impact Wrestling, but I don't think he's like in a giant, big enough prominent role at the moment to. Let's be careful not to get hurt on the GCW shows, but who knows? He could get there at some point. I mean, look what they let Masha still work all the time. And that's what I really love about Impact is they're really with their partnerships and letting the wrestlers it feels like with what AEW used to do, and AEW stopped doing this shit now, and now Impact's kind of picking up that piece of independent wrestling, and I'm happy for them to see that.
AEW. We'll see how they're doing in a couple years because WWE is using the WWE ID program now, which means
Evolve.
that yeah. So what's going on here is basically AEW is going to eventually get choked out unless they just keep trying to hire people out from under in the independent scene, which it's really hard to argue. There's going to be a lot of people with eyeballs from WWE on the independent scene, including GCW. So I, after seeing, okay, Effie pissed off AEW. Well, Tony Khan, blah, blah, blah. But also, Tony not letting his workers work is the complete opposite of what he was saying his company stood for. And I think that's fair. So he just basically pulled a Vince McMahon. You're not working anywhere unless I say so. I'm in complete control, blah, blah. And again, that might be in the contract that it has to be agreed upon. That's fair. But, you were all for the little guy. It's like you raided the GCW locker room damn near if there was one. And now you're like, GC who? That's bullshit. It really is. So you know what? I hope TNA does well. I hope TNA continues to work with WWE. And I hope they continue to work with GCW. And fuck them. And it'll just be that. And it's basically like this. If you don't want to eat cake, then don't go to the party. And right now, AEW is like, well, we don't want you in here. Well, here's the problem. They've not included so many people. It's just AEW at its own birthday party right now. Everybody else is collaborating. Everybody else is trying to do something. And they're over there doing shit to Ricky Starks like this, which sucks. Let Phoenix go, too. I mean, I understand the situation, but maybe make a monetary arrangement for the time that didn't. Let the guy go. Get this shit over with. I watched Penta debut, and it was like a different Penta on WWE, 100%. So these things, the presentation and things do matter. Yeah. All right. We're going to turn all this into anger tonight.
No, yeah, you're right on. Like that's what I said. I was trying to think of something to add on, and I agree with you. Like I'm a big AEW fan. I'll be honest. Like I'm actually a couple weeks behind on their shows of watching it, but I've been following it still. But I agreed with you. I think that like the Tony Khan and what he did with Ricky was real shitty. And then letting Jericho show up was also like you're costing someone else dates while giving someone else dates and talking out of both ends of your face. I love AEW. I still hope Tony gets his mind right and goes back to how he started it to change the world. And like
Same.
that big whole
Same.
first promotion or big press conference in Vegas I was at to announce the whole thing. Like I really hope his vision does come back and he gets out of his business fields and go back to what he originally started. And I can say that about a lot of stuff in wrestling. I wish a lot of people just, hey, go back to what you originally felt, what you were doing positive and making a change and go back to what you thought was doing it right, because that's why fans were rooting for your companies, because you were doing something different, not doing the same shit that the other people were doing. And now they're doing it a lot better than what you tried to do.
And then you have Bane, who just got picked up by AEW. And I'm almost disappointed because I'd rather her went to NXT, something like that, because she has a face for it. She has the look, she has the face, she has everything that I think an individual needs to go over to somewhere like WWE and maybe earn some good money. And I'm sure she's doing that at AEW when the time comes. But I'm like, damn, after pulling a move like that on GCW, I almost don't want them to. I don't know. I don't know. Not thrilled. Just not thrilled. Yeah. Not using the F words.
Let's go back to the end of Too Tough Tony and Manswanger.
All right. So Nate comes out. He has a bottle of alcohol, spits it into Mance's face. Tony then gets his handful of alcohol, hits the flaming meteor, and Mance kind of catches fire just for a small momentary second. If you watch, instead of a quick connect with the punch to the bottom of Tony's arm, you could actually see Tony's arm kind of rubs against the front of Mance Warner's head. So any alcohol or liquid that's right here, there's like a second of contact that normally wouldn't be there. So instead of bump, it was rub. and you could see Mance automatically just grab right there, and then
He's probably like, "Oh my god, my new moneymaker, my hair, and I just got the
my
Impact
hair.
contract." Yeah, like that was like, just imagine him like losing his shit. It's like, okay, we're not doing that again. I finally hit the pay window, and this is how I'm gonna lose it.
I initially thought of that too. I went, holy shit, you're on TNA TV and you just took a fireball to the face and had to run out of the ring to make sure your shit wasn't on fire. Yeah. So for me, I went back and looked at that. Nate hit him with like spit the alcohol on him. So automatically that shit is from his neck to the top of his head. And then he gets hit with the meteor, which means if that would have not stayed the way it was and it didn't evaporate, there's a good chance his whole face could have just went whoosh. I'm really surprised. Yeah, I'm really surprised.
I had that same thought. I can't. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, they sing out "Teenage Dirtbag," and I believe everyone in Indianapolis is as happy as can be. So, there we go.
All right. The fourth matchup of the evening was the aforementioned Genesis going against the Koger brothers.
Sadly, the bad boy came out in his own gear. I don't think I've ever said this about another man, but I'm actually sad he's not wearing his girlfriend's pants. For their first time as an official team, the Koger brothers. The music, they're dressed all in black. They have handkerchiefs over their faces. They come out looking like cold-blooded killers. They look like legit threats. I get old GCW vibes. I said, put this directly into my vein. And the first thing I thought of was, I need Kogar versus the Macizos ASAP, because they looked like the black variant of the Macizos. When you see like Miedo come out with the jacket and he has, the handkerchief up, I'm like, holy shit. I see a real threat to the GCW Tag Team Champions right now if they want to move forward with the Koga brothers, and I am 100% cool with it. This was Otis' second official GCW match at GCW. His first match was against Dexter White at Backyard Wrestling 3, July 4th, 2021. It took 4 matches until finally Emil said, we've got Rhonda Shears up all night. Thank you, Emil. Joey introduces a chair and fuck him up chants are heard. The crowd is primed for violence. We had door bridges, chairs. Atticus had skewers. Joey eats a brain hemorrhage and it looks like he came down awkward on his shoulder. Joey said it's a distal head bicep tendon tear. And I asked him about his recovery time. He said it would be roughly 6 months after surgery. So I believe the plans that he had shared with everyone online was that he's going to work all the way through April, and then he's going to get that taken care of after that collective weekend. Okay, Brant, I think you were asking about the Otis thing? Like official matches, or what were you thinking?
I was like, when you said Dexter White, I was like, what? It was Atticus. It was Atticus.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not like I had to look that up. I'm like, who the fuck is Dexter White? I could have swore that was Atticus, but then I didn't think about the names on Backyard Wrestling. So yeah, my bad. Because I thought I thought it was like the Kane and stuff like that. Whatever.
Man, it was a 19-minute match too. This was a fucking banger. If this was any other team, I would definitely say keep them in GCW. I see a tremendous promise, and I see everything that GCW always wants, and that's versatility, and we have it here.
Yeah, I will say, I will be honest. I wanted Atticus to come back just by himself, but I love the story that they're kind of telling with Otis as Atticus is coming back this time. And hey, he still needs the backup against the GCW trust and locker room. So he got his big brother there watching his back. And I just love that one video that they played of like Otis, like, I'm right here, brother. There ain't nothing going to happen. And yeah, that presentation, I did not expect it. I'm right there with you. I loved everything that they did. The music, the look, the no nonsense. Like they look like, hey, fuck, like this is our time. We're going to come in and this, like, no more bullshitting around. I loved it. I'm all for the Atticus, the Kogars being tag team champions. Garbage Daddies need someone as challengers. I think that would be a good shot. I would like to see Atticus do a lot more than the tag belts. But as you said, for the first time seeing them as a tag team in GCW, yes, it makes sense. It looked really good. I wrote in this one, lots of story and animosity in this match. Another reason I'm glad Atticus is back and better than ever because he's bringing these stories, as we were kind of talking about earlier. He's bringing the stories, the emotions, and violence, and everything he does. His videos throughout the week are must see. Really get the fans more invested in his matches. This one is exactly what I expected. And I was happy to see the Kogars get the win and hopefully start building some momentum towards Vegas in collective weekend, because that was kind of the one thing we didn't see Atticus really picking up victories and getting momentum. I think this was hopefully a good start. And yeah, I really enjoyed how they were presented as a tag team. All right, Frankie, I have to see Hot Take. I didn't see the rest of them really come through on Joey's promo from Fight Club Day 2. Okay, you're gonna have to send me that promo or let me know what it is. I'm missing this here. I don't know what he's talking about there.
That's okay. He's pretty good at letting us know. He'll tell us.
But I was happy with it. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with the Megan Bain and AEW. Joey hurt. I don't know what I to me it maybe felt like they were going to build for collective Atticus and Joey for spring break is kind of what it was seeming like everything was leading up to.
Great One said that's the big bring back the feeling. Agree. Clown said Jack Cartwheel versus Alec Price just announced for San Diego. Thank you, Clown. Appreciate that.
Why Otis is the first one to really come through on back to what? Or do you mean Atticus? Maybe this one's over my head here. Am I missing something here?
I don't know nothing.
No, okay. All right, whatever. Yeah, I enjoyed it though. Everything I think we hit everything there.
Yeah.
All right, next matchup was thrown together as it was Shane Mercer versus Rachel Armstrong.
Thrown. What a great word to use for a match like this.
I swear to God, I didn't even think about that.
I love it. Yeah, this was Armstrong versus Strong Arms. Rachel flexing on Mercer. She got in her offense early. Shane chucks her from a corner of the ring onto a bunch of people below. They fought on the stage. Rachel hit a huge Dragon Rana off that stage. Mercer hits all his biggest hits. Rachel then countered and got a few of her favorites in. Mercer then hit the moonsault and battery for the win. So our winner here was Shane Mercer. I just put great job Mercer, great job Rachel. Both earned their money, but in completely different ways that night.
You really just gonna walk by that golden joke of you made there, strong arm against.
Do you like that?
Strong. That was like the best joke you've ever done on this podcast. Like that was excellent there. Shit, you're right, Atticus. Okay, yeah. Then we could put that up. Hot take: Atticus is the first person to really come through, bring back the feeling, back to basics. I agree with you, Frank. Not a hot take.
Yep.
Yeah, great one to call it. It takes to go up for that ride.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, that was a great joke. We got to clip that. That's easy.
Armstrong versus Strong Arms.
That was great. This was an interesting match that was in my notes thrown together. Happy to see Mercer being used. Hopefully we see more of him. Him and Blake could continue and build off their friendship that just stopped. I think it would be a good story for both, kind of like an MJF and Wardlow, maybe for kind of collective to build Mercer back up and get Blake back into it. And maybe, like I said, I think it would be cool MJF versus Wardlow kind of feud that they could have going into collective, since they both kind of just seemingly stopped for no apparent reason. And we're not seeing too much of Blake in the future cards. I don't know what's going on there, but for a story for Blake and a story for Mercer to see more of both, I think that little feud could be cool to see in GCW. I was happy to see Armstrong back in a GCW ring. This was the best I've seen from her in GCW. They meshed really well and told a cool story in this match that really got the crowd behind her. She did a great job, kind of doing like what we always talk about, Brooke Havoc, of getting the crowds behind her and motivated during the match. Armstrong delivered an amazing match, and Mercer was impressive as always. Yeah, that throw was crazy, and this card has been really strong. Like, I know we're not talking about stories other than what we just talked about, Otis and Genesis, because that was really the only one with a story, but the action was really good. Like, it was fun. And it felt like a star-studded GCW show, but not really storylines to get invested outside of, hey, good show, which is cool for Royal Rumble weekend. And that will lead us into our main event, as it is Gringo Loco going against Calvin Tankman.
This match was fun from the start. Gringo's working with more weight than usual, and Tankman is working against the Lucha guy. Welcome back, Calvin Tankman. He's in his home territory, hometown area. J Rose introduced him, and the crowd was hype. The crowd was behind Tankman basically throughout this match. It took until the main event, but I found there's a disco ball hanging above the stage. I always love trying to find the disco ball in the venue. They opened the match with Tankman keeping speed with the base god. Very impressive. And on Tankman's tope, he landed armpit first on Gringo, and Nick called it the Flying Brian Knobbs armpit of doom. Thought that was kind of funny. Calvin with a huge poison rana. There were a lot of chairs being used. A door was in play. My favorite chant broke out. Whoop that trick. Gringo's hit a top rope Spanish fly through a door bridge below, and he covers for 3. Our winner here was Gringo Loco. And after the bell, you can see Gringo got cut on the side of his face, but it didn't mess up that moneymaker. Oh, was that did he hit an eyebrow on that last move?
It looked like an eyebrow, but now actually I think about it, I could be thinking of some other wrestler that got cut in the eyebrow. And actually now I think about it, Gringo was from the side of his head because it looked like the blood was coming from a weird spot.
I didn't go back and look at it. Maybe it was the door spot at the end there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I thought this was a good main event. I unfortunately, I don't have for me, this was one of those ones I don't have a lot of notes because it was a good match. I was happy to see Tankman get the main event in Indianapolis. Happy to see J Rose get the ring announcement. J Rose, as you said, he brings the energy. I love everything he does, and every time I see him on a screen, big shout out to him, to J Rose as well for everything that they've done with the Naptown promotion and everything else. J Rose doing good work in Indianapolis, and I'm happy to see the success come their way. But going back to this match, I thought it was a good match. It was fun. The crowd was into it. Calvin Tankman looked really good as always. Cool to see him get the spotlight in the main event against Gringo. But other than that, it was a good match, but no story wise or anything else to say other than it was a good main event to end the night.
Imagine if there were. I was going to say, imagine if there were backstage interviews, how they could have sold this main event. You know, I've got Calvin Tankman in the main event. I know that it's his hometown, but blah, 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 blah. And then Tankman could have been like, yeah, hey, I'm in Indianapolis, da, 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 da. One backstage segment between the both of them could have really sold the match for the night, and it would have really hyped up the crowd. It would have taken backstage, 30 seconds? If the guys are good, 2-3 takes at the most.
Yep. I missed this one great one. Rachel became a literal shooting star. I agree. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm happy. I'm happy Blake's getting pushed in Ring of Honor. It has been nice seeing Ring of Honor's Twitter page kind of hyping him up and promoting him and building the momentum behind him on social media. I think that has been cool. I was really sad to not see Blake in the J Cup, as you kind of said, one of the best super juniors in the world, not in the J Cup. That makes complete sense why what you said, great one. But for me, it sucks because I know Blake was trying to do some cool stuff and with his character, and we just never got to see it come to fruition again. And I think that's been the bad part of kind of his run in GCW is we can't, when it's fully time to get the new character, we're not given the full time to showcase that character. But I'm happy to see him in AEW Ring of Honor for sure. In AEW of Honor, I like that. AEW of Honor.
It's pretty much what it is. It's definitely not Ring of Honor. It's like AEWR. It's trying. It's trying.
I missed this here. So what's this Fountain Square event?
Well, the Fountain Square was this Indianapolis event. I just don't understand what's interesting about it. Great one, help us out, buddy. He said it was interesting that the GCW World and Tag titles got defended the next day as part of the Fountain Square.
I don't know what show or anything. I didn't.
It could have been another show. Maybe that's what it was.
But yeah, not on GCW.
Interesting. Yeah, these were 2 short shows. I kind of felt weird. I don't know why or how. It just didn't feel complete. But they were not bite sized, but I felt like I got more show out of the Indianapolis one overall.
I love the action in both. I love seeing the ultraviolence that we got with the BZW show. They're not the ultraviolence, more extremeness. But then I love seeing like all the action, fast pacedness that we saw in Indianapolis. I think they provided two different shows, but they were enjoyable, as you said. They were bite sized to watch. I watched them, but then it was like, there's nothing to talk about like afterwards. Like what, like, do you know, like going into collective after every show, it's like, oh my God, like
Stories.
John, what about this and this and this and this? Yeah. So like I loved everything. Took good notes. I wrote every match. Like I enjoyed it. The card was strong. I loved everything I watched, but I just, after the show was ended, it's like, okay, I guess I could go back and finish watching the Royal Rumble that I didn't finish watching. I just felt like it was done. Okay, so
Frankie said there was a Sunday 2 p.m. show the next day under Nap.
Cool.
Great One, which is our West Coast correspondent right under, says Effie and Garbage Daddies defended their titles on Saturday morning at the extended Nap shows.
Hey, at least Nap got some good matchups there and got a good card.
Saturday was Saturday Morning Slammers, right?
Oh my God, that's where I used to go to the swap meet with my Pogs and Slit. Man, that's a different story.
Pogs,
we're getting old. That's what. So I used to go on Saturday mornings to the swap meet across town. It used to be called Saturday Morning Slammers. In the back of the swap meet, people brought their Pogs and their Slammers, and we used to have like tournaments. And dude, for hours I'd spend there. It was called Saturday Morning Slammers.
Did you ever walk out of there with much more than you
took in? I had I kind of rocked it. I had about like 20 like cases full of Pogs.
What?
Like I used to like win so many. Like I had to like ask my mom, can I get like $10 to buy a case? Like I need some. I already got a bag or something because I wouldn't have any. Like so, back in the day, there. Whatever. We're getting into Pog talk here. But yeah, that was what it was.
Pod talk. Listen to you. He's got all the like.
We're just our new podcast, names. The Pog Pod.
The Pod Pod.
Saturday
the Pod Podcast.
Yeah, I'm happy though for J Rose and Naptown to get that. That's cool that they were defended, and I was happy to see GCW promote Naptown and everything that was going on, because I know J Rose worked hard, not just with GCW and their little companies, but everywhere they J Rose was working ass off for promoting Indianapolis wrestling. So good for J Rose. That was the nerdiest thing.
We've had a couple nerdy ones tonight. Oh,
dude, Saturday Night Slammers took me back to like 8 years old, 9 years old.
That's cool as fuck, though.
That was funny.
I think that was everything from the shows, right? Is there anything else you wanted to mention, kind of thing?
No, I mean they announced a couple shows today for San Diego and LA and stuff like that. So in the Nile. So, yeah, I don't. As far as that weekend goes, I think that's it.
And we sent something to the weatherman. No luck there, huh?
Oh shit!
Hold no.
No, I did not. We got too busy talking.
It's fine. Well, like I said, we've been thrown off all night. This is one of our atypical shows by far tonight. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up some stuff real quick on GCW for the J Cup, because I know we probably want to kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm about to say I want to pull up all 20 competitors right now. I'm trying to find it.
Let's see. Yeah, I saw the Gabe Kib versus Homicide announcement. That was announced 5 hours ago. Where's the names? Come on, guys, give it to me. There's a bunch of messages for No Compadre, America's Most Wanted. It's going to be a good show. Okay, the first 4 opening round matches have been announced for the Jersey J Cup. We have Masha versus Amazing Red. Leon Slater versus Kevin Knight. Haven't seen Kevin Knight in a while. Cole Radrick versus Alec Price. And then there's going to be a 3-way. Jackson Drake, Jack Cartwheel, Marcus Mathers. That's our opening 4 bouts. What are your thoughts on those?
Can you, what was that? Was that multi-person match again?
Yeah, it was Jackson Drake, Jack Cartwheel, Marcus Mathers. All young guys.
That's a WWID match there.
Is Jackson Drake? He's also WWE ID.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
That's the kid from BXS. I think I saw like for the first time, who looks like got a really good character, like an MJF kind of heelish kind of character. I think that's him.
But yeah, that makes for a hell of an opening set of rounds right there. Let me see if there's any other announcements here. We're doing this on the fly, obviously. Let's
I'm
see.
trying to still find
If
the
there was some
22.
headway, I would have actually printed a list out and looked at it here. So
I was about to say, yeah, I know they posted it, but I can't find it on
that's
the.
okay. That's okay. That's the only bad thing. I wish they had them like pinned or posted better, or if there was a better way to do this. Because like right now, I'm looking at highlights from Up All Night, and I'm just trying to get J Cup information.
All right. Well, my
Um,
bad. My bad.
I've got some information right here. Okay, so we have Cole Radrick, we have Knight, Janela, Atticus, Arez, Drake, Swan, Connors. We haven't heard that name in a while.
But hold on, it's not Everett Connors. It's Clark Connors.
Oh shit. Okay.
I got mixed up too. I was like, God, they got to clarify that because I first saw that too. I was like, oh shit, I forgot Everett. Like, wait, Everett's not announced for this. It's got to be Clark Connors.
Yeah. Leon Slater, Sidney Akeem, Mr. Danger, Alec Price, Fuego del Sol, Jack Cart. Okay. Jack Cartwheel, Mathers, Amazing Red, Masha, Teriyaki, Charles Mason. I'm going to tell you right now, that's a really good fucking list.
That's
a strong list.
I'm about to say last year's was like, I loved all the talent in that, but I think year one was really stronger than last year's name. But this year, yeah, that's a strong one, like very strong. That's why I was like, okay, who would I take out to put Blake in? Like when I was brought that message up, I'm like, that's a tough one because I wouldn't want to really take out everyone.
Yeah, that's a hell of a list, though. I'll say that much right now. Like looking at that list, there's a whole bunch of winners there. That list just looks good.
That is a tough one. Yeah, I if they put out Jacob like a bracket style, like actually kept it like normal, like a really like NCAA style. Like we definitely got to do one and get like some fan participation. Maybe I could throw in like a T-shirt or something like that for free fans. We'll get like the Game Changer Weekly T-shirt or something.
Okay, so I just want you to tell me yes or no if you think they'll win the tournament. Cole Radrick.
No.
Knight. That's
no. Kevin Knight.
Yeah, Kevin Knight. Joey Janela.
No.
No, yeah, he's going to be injured. Atticus.
See, this is where I don't know. Like storyline, it could make sense, but actual tournament wise, I don't think he's the kind of one to be the J Cup winner. But I could see him winning it to do something else possibly. But I have to say no.
Okay, so far no yeses. Arez.
There's my one. I have a finals. Arez is one.
Really? Okay. Drake.
No.
Swan.
No.
Connors.
No.
Parker.
Same as Atticus.
Same as Atticus. Okay, so maybe, like strong maybe. Leon Slater.
No.
No. Sidney Akeem.
No.
Alec Price.
Yes.
Really?
See, I have Alec Price and Arez as the finals. Who's in it? Go after Price. What names were left after Price?
Fuego del Sol.
No. I hope he gets a strong performance, though.
Same. Jack Cartwheel?
That's kind of one I was like, WW. That's where I'm like, does WWID get involved there? And Jack Cartwheel could be an easy promotable name that wins a big tournament that WWID could promote. That's another one like, I
say this.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I say this 100 times. What sounds better in WWE? GCW star Jack Cartwheel or former GCW champion Jack Cartwheel?
Former J Cup champion.
Yeah. I mean, that's just another one. So that was Cartwheel. Mathers. Do you think Mathers may carry?
Who said Alec already won it? Alec never won it. In our eyes, he won it last year. That's who I thought was going to win it last year was Alec.
Yeah. Alec was the big push. So we've had Jordan, Masha, and that's it so far.
Yeah. So who is after? Keep going with the names.
So Mathers, and then we go Amazing Red.
No.
Masha.
No.
Okay, I got this. You want to know what's going to happen? Masha's going to be in the finals, so she's going to pass the belt along to someone.
I hope they don't kind of make that thing. I would like to maybe see her lose in the first round as a giant upset.
Well,
to raise somebody and then cause like a chaos, but I don't know. Go ahead.
I was just thinking if it was going to be Masha in the finals, though, they might as well just make this tournament for a first contender kind of thing. Teriyaki, yes or no?
No,
Charles Mason, last one.
that's a tough one too.
It is.
Damn, that one's actually tough. But I would want to have Alec Price versus Arez, and I think Alec Price could take it all. Should take it all this year. But Arez has been
Okay.
doing some crazy work too, man. Like those are my two. But if it wasn't those two, I'd have Atticus and Drew Parker in the finals. And I know we're going to come up later here. I want to see those two wrestle against each other, and I will be seeing that somewhere else, and I'm excited for it. But the J Cup would be a cool little preview of what could possibly happen, because those two are like right now. And right now, since Jordan's out, those are like my two kind of like ones I really enjoy watching in the ring, and Arez as well. Like like are must watch for me.
So my finals may be Sydney Akeem versus Fuego. Unfortunately, that's face face. The other thing I'm thinking, though, and again, it might be face face, would be Sydney Akeem Amazing Red finals. Sydney goes over.
I hope
Because there is that win thing he's got going on. So I'm wondering if maybe, I really wish it was built a little better if he's going to win right here, because he's got these wins, but I feel like there's a lack of hype.
Yeah, I mean, I think more should have I was shocked he beat Vikingo. Like, yeah. I think that they should have built off of that one, because Vikingo was almost as undefeated in GCW. I think he lost to Nick Gage. I think that was it. Or Nick maybe even beat Nick. I can't remember.
I
but
look that one up.
But yeah, I don't know. That Jacobs, it's a strong field. I want to see our Amazing Red in a couple matches. I Atticus taking out some story shenanigans. Yeah, I hope they do some sort of stuff like that, and like he could further use that along with his story that is not really affiliated J-Cup style, where it could be affiliated in a bigger context in GCW. I think that's kind of where I was like, well, I would like to see Atticus do a lot of work in J-Cup. This isn't the kind of tournament for him to excel in, unless they do have story wise.
Well,
who would Sydney lose to? I mean, Amazing Red would be kind of cool.
Like, it has to be somebody worth the shit.
Almost, kid. Like, not quite there yet.
Gosh, who would? Come on, man. Who would? Dude, I'm telling you, Masha, I don't know. Again, with extra belts though, Fuego would be like my IC. He'd be my IC champion, no doubt.
And see, this is where I'm like, is the JCW title going to be defended all tournament or not? And then I don't know.
Could you imagine if she loses it in round 2 and then we have a new champion and then that champion loses it in the main event?
This is why I kind of like to see her lose it in round 1, of kind of like, oh shit, like what was like the Elimination Chamber where John Cena got eliminated first, and oh shit, there's 5 other people, and
it's a whole other match now.
There's definitely going to be a new champion, and everybody's all excited for the rest of the card. I think they could do that in this tournament, and maybe Sydney beats Masha real fast and picks up a big win, and then maybe Masha just took too much out of him, and then Amazing Red capitalizes on that. I don't know. Like, J-Cup's going to be fun. I know
poetry says that whoever beats Masha, let's just say it's in the first or second round, should go on to win the whole thing. You know what I mean? You beat the champion and you won the tournament. You're pretty fucking unstoppable. That's a great foundation to build off of for the rest of the run.
Yeah. Yep. I think J-Cup always, the first one was really cool. Like, I just saw the talent struck. Like, you could tell this talent really wanted to win, and that was the story that they told in every single match. Like, each match told its story throughout the whole tournament, that first one, which was really good. And I remember last year was super strong too, but I think this year the name value and talent wise and the stuff we could see in the ring is going to be exciting as well. Like, that's next week. When is this?
What, the J-Cup? 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks. It'll
be now, yeah, it's on the, I think, 15th and 16th.
Cool. I'm gonna definitely watch that one for sure.
Yeah, I think it'd be 100% worth it. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna love it. I'm really, dude. The talent pool is so good. Every match, I don't care what match they have, it's gonna be a good matchup.
So, like, this is one where I hope they kind of have J-Cup banners throughout the White Eagle Hall.
I sure hope so. And there's only one downfall no one talks about to tournaments. Sometimes you're blowing through a lot of dream matchups, or you're blowing through a lot of fresh matchups that you know what I mean, and that kind of blows the next month or two's card.
I'm about to say there might be a lot of
Mm-hmm.
matchups teased where they don't get to. That's what I was kind of going through here.
Possible.
Like, man, there's so many matchups that I would love to see multiple of them, like round robin kind of style. Let's fuck it. Let's just do a month long. What's that tournament that they do in Japan? The climax
Like a round
tournament.
robin,
Yeah,
kind
the
of the
climax
G1 or
tournament.
whatever.
Yeah, let's get our own little
Fuck.
independent G1 going. I'm down for that. That'd be fun.
So funny thing that was talked about on the Patreon, on the official GCW podcast on Patreon, like last night. I think they were talking about that. And the problem was, I think TNA tried it, but it got so stupid messy. And then if you add the independent wrestling, schedule to it, it makes it even harder to complete the thing without having holes in the.
I like it when
in the round
AEW
robin.
does it, but I think they could do it a little bit better as well to add more pageantry to it and make it feel
Yeah.
worth a damn.
Tournaments should be a big deal. You have to win 3-4 times in a row just to be in the final. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I'm excited for this shakeup for sure. They're even talking it out now.
I'm excited for this DeMonto interview. I've been working on the interview for a week already so far. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. Everybody's all nervous here and there, and I'm like, guys, let's have some fun. He is part of the history of GCW. He really is. And a lot of people hear the name or whatnot, but they haven't had a chance to actually listen to the man, speak for himself. He rarely does interviews. He never asks for an interview. He asked us for an interview. That's very rare. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a good time. I have a portion of the show that's going to be for the start of his career in wrestling. I have another one that is going to be the GCW portion, and then I'm going to have the ICW NHB portion below that. So we're going to go into 3 different sections. B is going to be looking at chat the whole time, making sure that we have questions marked. We have a ton of questions just from our side alone, and then we're going to start supplementing the fan questions in. So I would say on that one, definitely get here early. Time is of the essence. We don't know how much time we have, but we are going
Early
to
means
take
8 o'clock
all of
for
it.
us, late as of late.
Yeah. Geez. You know what? So we have never really started late. And then the last 2 or 3 weeks,
Last
we
like
started
month,
late
yeah.
twice. And that's just unheard of. So super sorry for that, guys. That's definitely all on me. I really do think it's StreamYard. I'm sitting here doing fine. And then if I go somewhere else and sign on again, it'll be completely screwy again. We've also
Yeah.
had nights where his stuff has been completely.
I'm about to say I was like, they'll take all the credit. I was messed up one of those times.
Well, it happens. But yeah, Reed, yeah, there's another one. So, guys, if you're into it, get into chat next Tuesday. Try to be there a little bit early if you can. Try to like us or follow us on YouTube if you have a chance tonight. But yeah, try to get in early. I know Clown and a couple others like to get in here early and chat.
Yeah.
By all means, talk with each other and chill out until it's time. You're doing it anyway throughout the show. So, I mean, we're here 5-10 minutes early, just getting all of our stuff together. Usually our equipment's working. But we do see your chat rolling through. So by all means, please talk. And if we get a chance before we have before we go live, we'll kind of let's type in there too and say hello to you. But yeah, I love our chat. It's so fun. But yeah, that DeMonto interview is going to be really interesting. It's going to be a lot like a lot of the interviews that we've had here. I'm researching the hell out of all of them, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that we handle it responsibly and try to get as much out of the gentleman as we can because we
While
just
still
love to
being
pick his
allowed to
brain.
come back on next week.
We're going to do great. We're going to do great. We're going to have a good time. Of course, Brett would know about this. It shows Game Changer Weekly. I think to make sure that no one has any upset whatsoever, the first thing I did was go, hey, here's what we're looking to do. And he said, yeah, by all means. So he had no issue with it whatsoever. Got back old Danny, got it all locked in, and we're ready to go. So he and I have spoken back and forth a couple times. He's helped me to just make sure that some of my information is correct. He's been really good with making sure that our show goes smoothly next Tuesday. So I'm really thankful for that. He's been very hands-on, making sure that what we do next Tuesday goes smoothly. Appreciate that a lot. But yeah, man, anything else you can think of on this short show?
Yeah, I was gonna say we do got if you're on the Patreon, we are recording Thursday night for History of GCW, the art
Yes.
or no, not the Art of War Games, Fight Club Night 2, 20
Fight Club
23.
2022 Night 1.
Is it 2023?
2022 Night 1.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah, you typed it all. I'm about to say you typed it all up. Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
I'll double check. I'll double check because I'd feel like an asshole if I actually
Moxley
said, "Hey,
versus Gage Night
that's
2
it.
or Part 2.
That's
Oh, you're right.
it."
2022. Yeah.
Oh, got me for a minute. I went, "Oh my
Oh, there goes your mic
god,
again.
did I just review a full show?" Oh no. Can you hear
Perfect
me?
timing. Yeah, but you're robotic again.
All right,
um,
man.
here we go. Recheck whatever Danny says. Checks because reasons. Yeah. So if you are on GCW's Patreon, we are recording that show on Thursday night. So if you have any questions regarding the history of Fight Club Mox versus Gage Night Part 2, hit up Patreon with any questions and yeah. I know you said short show. It does feel weird kind of ending it short, but we reviewed everything. And
Yeah.
just as we said, there's no stories to kind of go along,
Short.
but the action was good. The fans seemed to love the shows and they were fun shows. I just wish there was more to talk about after the shows.
Well, thank you
All right.
everyone for tuning in. Like I said, this is probably one of the most difficult shows that me specifically have had to go through in probably years. So thank you so much for hanging in. But on a good note, I was at the point of just saying, "Hey, get your storylines together." So I guess I need to be a little angry tonight just to kind of let that out. But I know I'm right. You know how get some storylines together, guys. You really think
I think
we're
that's
just
what
going to be dazzled by
Hammerstein.
just the wrestling?
All those matches
Yeah.
at Hammerstein we were looking forward to. Oh, of course, GCW just did a Twitter space. So I guess we should hop off here and Twitter space on GCW side.
Yeah. Thanks,
But yeah,
GCW. All right.
I know, right? It's stealing our views. Thanks, Brett. No,
Thanks.
I think that's what we were like so excited, had so much to talk about going into Hammerstein because Mason, he's not in the title scene, but he's got a cool story going on with Holiday. We got Janelysis and Koga. Like there was just stories abound. And I think that, as we were kind of saying, I think it could happen with the regular rosters that they do. And I just think that's what gets the fans invested and to tune in throughout the week and be more excited to go to the shows and talk about it and show up to them. So I do think stories are a big thing right now in wrestling with everything else. And I just hope maybe after this weekend, the craziness of Europe and Hammerstein and now the Royal Rumble weekend, after J-Cup, I think we'll have a lot more stories, hopefully, to talk about heading into Collective Weekend.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to get out of here and hop on the Twitter space.
Yeah, thanks a lot, GCW. Yeah, we'll go.
Brett's like, hold up. Brett's like, wait, I'm supposed to be up for another 2 hours listening to these guys. They get enough. I got some shit to talk about.
They're talking about Danny. It's time to get the other show on.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's exactly where we're gonna go to because why keep talking? If you get a chance, go over to Game Changer Weekly. There, it looks like they got a Twitter space right now. We'll see you guys over there in just a couple moments. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. All right, you ready? I'm about to say we did it once. We can't do it again.
Long
live
GCW. Love y'all. Good night.